creatives, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel. DeAgostini Collectibles, Build the Moomin House, Box 20, Part 5. In this video, we're going to complete issue 83 of the build. Let's go. As always, we've got merch for the channel. We have our Nerd Creative range and our Stay Creative range. Links in the description. Get whatever you want. With every stage of the build comes with component parts and a magazine. These are 2 sets of components to finish issue 83. So let's have a look and see what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be building these steps and a porch roof. We did this in the last video. We've looked through the magazine, so we don't need to look through it again. So this is where we're going to be starting. We're going to be doing the steps first and then the porch. They're going to be quite quick-ish. There is some painting to do, so quick-ish videos. So, got our components, got our magazine. Let's begin. Start this stage of the build, we've got to separate all the components out of their housings. They're just coming out like that. And then we've got to separate these two sides. I'll do it from this side so I don't cause any damage to the paintwork. Just a couple of bits that they leave just so that they're held together. So this will be steps, so I need to separate them. So, still haven't found my other sanding sticks, but I just need to tidy up any of these loose bits. That's quite a big one there. I'm going to have to use a knife to cut that off. Just smoothing off the edges. Just a little bit that needs smoothing out, it's not really that much. So I've mixed some burnt umber with some water to create a wash on these three pieces, not that piece there. So I just need to, I'm using the smaller brush so I've got more control of what happens. Like that. I dipped the larger brush in here, but it's too clumsy. So I just need to create. It means I can dip in tiny bits, in tiny areas. I'm just gonna keep removing it there. So it's just a wash we're creating. We're not painting it brown. Because it's a small surface, I'll just spread it around like that. Just create that wash colour like that. Keep dipping it out onto the paper towel so you don't have too much on your brush, like that. And it all roughly comes out the same colour. It dries quite quickly as well because it soaks right into the wood grain. that. Just move as quickly. Just move quite quickly. Just make sure that none of it sits on the wood. And with a small brush, it will never do that. Just keep working. You can have it as dark as you like. But I don't want it too dark. Burnt umber's quite dark anyway, but I don't want it that dark. Get this middle bit done, this little bit there. Just keep taking the pen off. Just move quickly, you'll see what you need to do and then you'll just get it done. So there's the 3 pieces done, and they're actually dry. They are dry because it's quite warm, so it's going to be drying quite quickly. So the pen I use 2 different types. So I use System 3 burnt umber. I also use for the white. I've been using this artist acrylic titanium white because it's squeezable and you don't tend to need to mix it with water. So I'm going to change, once these are finished, I'm going to change over to squeezable, because squeezables, I mean these are squeezable but they're too big, they're really too big, and they'll last a very long time. But I'm going to change over to like squeezables like this, the 250mm. So this one is this is a 120mm, but the 250mm, this is the is this the 500? It's the yeah, it's the 500. So you want to get 250 or 200 or something small like that. They do come in smaller ones like this. This is the 250, but you don't want this. You kind of want this, unless you're painting canvases and things. So I'm eventually going to move over to these squeezy tubes. You just use what you want to do, or what you're used to using. I'm doing the same. I'm using what I use. So we're going to start to construct the porch steps. So as always, just put glue onto the contact points. These two are exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which one you use. So just put some glue on cocktail stick and just put glue on the contact points, which only are here, like that, and here. It's the only contact points there are. Just gonna clean it up a little bit. Doesn't really matter on that side because you're not going to see it. So basically what you do is you hold it like this, so that these hook things there are to the back, and then you just slide it in like that. Slide it all the way down until it touches, and as you can see, that is the only contact point, is those bits there. So I might just clean up that glue because you are going to see it because it's the front of the step. Just clean it up like that. Leave that to dry. Scene. Yeah, we've got to wait. Got to wait for the next part. this, I'm going to be using this one that is hidden. Once this is dry, this goes into here. So we're going to start to construct the porch steps. So as always, just put glue onto the contact points. These two are exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which one you use. So just put some glue on a cocktail stick and just put glue on the contact points, which only are here, like that, and here. It's the only contact points there are. Just gonna clean it up a little bit. Doesn't really matter on that side because you're not going to see it. So basically what you do is you hold it like this so that these hook things there are to the back, and then you just slide it in like that. Slide it all the way down until it touches, and as you can see, that is the only contact point, is those bits there. So I might just clean up that glue because you are going to see it because it's the front of the step. Just clean it up like that. And leave that to dry. Yeah, we've got to wait. Got to wait for the next part. This, I'm going to be using this one that is hidden. Once this is dry, this goes into here. I've let it dry a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put glue on these contact points. There's only like there, like that, and there. It's funny enough, that's the only contact points there. You'd think it would be like more, but it's not. So have it facing this way so the blue of the step, and you just slot it in there like that. Just going to make sure it's pushed in like that. So that's the effect you're kind of looking for. And it does sit forward, as you can see. It sits forward, so that is there. And you see, it's only those two little bits that are contact points. The rest of it are not contact points. And amazingly, it's sitting right because of the way it's been cut. So I'm just going to remove any glue that I see, because it will be seen because it's like stairs. Although I don't think this is going to be seen underneath. This is going to be seen definitely. So that's that. So I'm going to leave it to dry because we're going to put the sides on. I'm just checking. So that's one side and that's the other side. And they, let me see, I think they just glue. They glue. See how they glue. They glue like that. I think I like that. Is it like that? Yeah, they glue like that. They glue very tight like that. Let's see, let me turn it from the side. So they glue in like that. Actually, like yeah, they glue in like that there. Like that. And that one goes on that side. So we'll just let this dry for a little bit. Yeah, I'm just checking the contact points here. Looks like it's here, here, and here. So I'm going to glue the contact points. This is quite difficult to put together because I put it together and then it was wrong. It's just like, how was it wrong? I don't know. So it seems like there's only one way to do it, and I just need to make sure the contact points I've got glue on before I start to play around, because this needs to go in there, slide up like that, and then this one, just need to pull it out. Pull it out from the side. I just had to play about with it because it wasn't sitting right, so I'm just gonna glue up the contact points quickly, because it's quite a unique setup to get it to fit right. I don't want to get it wrong, so this goes in here, this passes through there. It's the only way it goes together, like that. I'm just checking if I'm using the right one. Yeah, I'm using the right one. Yeah. So that's the way it goes there, like that. But it's not the way I had it. The way I had it, it wouldn't go together properly. So it's kind of a unique way of putting it together that I couldn't see, even though I was looking at the picture. But unless you put it together like this, it doesn't go together, because there's a little tiny piece on this blue bit that goes into a little square, and I had this part in that square. But there, and there's only one way it goes together. If you don't put it together like this, it won't go together. So it's kind of interesting. I found it quite interesting, but I've got the contact points all done. So we just need to put this panel here. Just checking. Yeah, this panel goes here like that and covers up all that down there. So the contact points are obvious on this. So I'm just going to pull some glue from the bottle. So the contact points are here. Let's try that again. Let's pull some more. And here, like that. Just need to get some more glue on my cocktail stick. Like that. And there's the other contact point there. This is more straightforward. There we go. And we could actually glue this top bit as well. That is a contact point there. Get this excess off. So yeah, that's our contact points. So I'm just going to sit it on and push it into place. Make sure it's flush on both sides. So it's starting to come together now, as you can see downstairs. In their picture, they've got this painted and this painted, but for some reason they're not painted on mine. But this part here and that part are painted on theirs. You can paint. It's just mixing up the right paint. So yeah, it's starting to look like a staircase now, which is good. Because the next thing we've got to put on is this. Goes in here, and then this one that goes on there, and then that's the top step there. I might actually glue it, but this is the thing that's really strange. Is see, that goes in there like that, but so when this goes down, that goes down there like that. But those little squares there, let me show you, those little tiny square shapes have to go into here without this blocking it. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. So the contact points for here are in this J shape and in that J shape. I'm going to put it together now because I don't see why not. It's quite a sturdy piece, so I don't really have to wait for it to dry any longer. So I'm just going to, first of all, we need to put glue here because these are contact points as well. Glue in there like that. So these are contact points, and get some more glue. So all it is just gluing the contact points, just knowing where they are. So contact point is, yeah, the contact point's in here on this, and it's also there. Yeah, we need more. We need more glue. I've built stairs before. I think a couple of times now. I think I've built stairs. You build stairs in the first ever issue. You build not large stairs, but you build. So I'm just going to get the glue where I need it. So in there, like that. Contact. So all the contact points. So I'm going to get this on here, like that. And hopefully I get it right again. That in there. Like that. Just going to think if it goes in there. Just checking if it goes down or up. If it goes all the way back there, and that goes like that. And then we get this piece here. So the contact point is this. Well, it's this and this. So we shall do that. I'm working quite quickly because it doesn't go together the way you think it does, because of those square pieces. It goes together. If you don't follow it, it won't go together. Even though you know how it goes together, it won't go together. So this goes here. That's why I'm putting it together quite quickly, because I don't want to lose my momentum and get it wrong. So this goes in there like that. Yeah, I just want to get my momentum going because it doesn't go together exactly the way it looks like it goes together. It's a little bit more complicated. This top bit, it's fine that I'm doing now. It was this bit, this section here. It kind of threw me a little bit because I was like, how are they putting that together? But I got there in the end. But when you're doing yours, you'll see there's a part in it that you're doing, and it's like, oh, how have they got that to do that? It's a little bit of an optical illusion, but I've got them on now, so I'm happy enough. See if I could just scrape some of this glue off. I can do it when it's dry anyway, but you know. But yeah, it's a little bit of an optical illusion. This bit's fine here. It was this bit going in. This was quite complex to go in. It looked like it went in one way, but it didn't. So this top step here, I'm just trying to see if it sits forward or back. Curved edge to the inside, overhang at different distances, left and right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on and just see how the overhang is, and if it goes, see, it overhangs at the front and it overhangs at the back. So I think it probably goes on like that there, because there's an overhang, and it's got to be level at the back. So I'm going to, all in one, do the contact points here, there, and here. I'm just getting it together because it threw me a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I need to get this together because is there going to be another thing. So what you got to do is, right, sit it on like that, but at the back, make sure it's flush with the back, like that. It's flush, completely flush with the back, like that, so it doesn't stick out. And then make sure there's an equal overhang on either side and underneath. That there. So I'm gonna hold it there like that. Might have to put a weight on it actually. So there's an overhang on here and there's an overhang on either side that's kind of the same. Let me just, I think it's slightly on this side a bit. So make sure it's flush here and it's flush there. And then I'm going to get a weight and sit it on. I'm just making sure it doesn't move. So I'm just going to sit a weight on it to hold that top step down, and then let me just slide it forward there, you can see. I'm just going to let that dry and then I'll show you the steps. Oh, that really threw me, that little section, because it didn't. I was like looking at the picture, I'm like, how do they do that? See what it is, right? So you get this in here, it looks all good and well, but that little square here, there, actually goes into, let me show you, that little square goes into this little shape here. Let me just, goes into that little shape there, and this can't block it because the square on the step needs to go into that gap. So the square on the step, see if I can show you a better picture of this here, this little square there, as you can see, that little square there needs to go inside that gap there without being covered. Well, actually on this one here. So yeah, there's a little square like that, there's a little square on there that needs to go in that gap here, you know, on this, you know, that little gap there. But if you don't do that, the steps won't go together. It's a little bit complicated. When you do yours, when you're building yours, you'll see it looks like it goes together one way, and then when you do that, it doesn't go together. So I'm going to let that dry, because we're going to start the porch roof, because these steps are finished. So if these steps are finished, I'm going to put them to the side. I'll show you them at the end when they're dry. So we're going to put the porch steps together now, which I'm just going to assemble things. So we get this, that's the porch there. We need these and these. Like that. That's what we need. So yep. So the first we've got to do is we've got to separate everything. So we've got to separate these and these with the craft knife. So I'm just going to see where the brick. Don't know how they break. That's quite thick. It's quite a thick piece of wood. It's quite soft though, yeah, it's quite soft. Just want to make sure I'm doing it right, because I don't want to. There's no little thing. Yeah, not perfect, but yeah, it comes to, it breaks up like that. I'm going to use the. Yeah, I'm going to use these spruce cutters to tidy it up. Just to remove that. There. Okay. So, I'm going to work out which way around they go. Okay, that's the way they go round there and there. And I've got to use wood glue, so they go in. Let's see. Right, so they go in. They go in like that. They go in like that there. Doesn't feel like they're going to fit there actually. Yeah, they go in like that. So I just need to glue these tabs. I might just glue inside these holes. I think that'll be easier. Yeah, I'll glue inside the holes. I don't normally do it that way. Yeah, I don't normally glue inside holes, but I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to feed it through there like that. Make sure it's all the way around, and then feed it through there and just spin it around like that. Just make sure with enough glue in both of them, like that. Some of that glue out of there. I'm going to add a bit more glue in because the hole kind of sucked it up. And feed it through that hole. I don't know if there was enough glue in that one, but we're just gonna like that. Take that off, and I'm going to feed these up now. So that goes, yeah, that goes in there like that. Pushes in there. There. And this one goes in there like that, and it pushes the glue out as it goes in like that. Let's get rid of that. Let's make sure that's in. Yeah, it's in properly now. Doesn't matter if it's got glue and stuff because it's going to be covered by tiles. So that's how that goes there. There like that. Next thing is to separate these supports. So I'm actually going to use these. If I can just clip it. No, that ain't going to work. Let's just. These supports. Separate the supports using the craft knife. Make sure the position is correct. So that goes there, and that goes there, and that goes there. Let's see if they're the right way around. Yeah, they appear to be the right way around. Just checking if they go the other way. Oh, they go this way around. Let me see. They go. That goes there. That goes there. Like that. Yeah, that's the right way around now. That's the correct orientation. And then got to use wood glue. I'm going to put wood glue in the holes again. Do it that way. It seemed to work this time. The other time. Yeah, I've never built one of these before. It's kind of interesting. So we just put glue in that hole there like that, go around like that there, and then scrape off the excess and get glue in that hole there like that. Get it all the way around. I think that's enough. Can't really see in that hole. Let's make sure they're the right orientation again, which is that. So there's a right support and left support. So the right support, which is this one, just checking. Yep. This one goes. Just trying to see. Yep. So you turn it this way around so that the flat bit's at the front and the curves at the back, and then you slot it in. It's not the right way around. Must be this one. Let's check. No. goes that way around then. Yeah, that way. So I'm going to push it in. Like that. Push it. Like that. There. I need to get some more glue to put under there. Let me just pull it out slightly and put some glue inside here like that. I know it's a little bit messy, but it's fine. Just scrape it off and just get it in there. Just going to close it like that. That needs to push in there further, but it won't. But that's where that goes anyway. It goes like that, like a triangle shape. Yeah, like that. I need to get this one in. Did I put glue in that one? Not sure if I did. That's okay, I'll put glue in there again. It's fine. It's a bit of glue. We don't need a lot. We just put in there like that. There we go. And then we put this through there, through that hole. Push it on. Just checking that's the right way. We need just get this quickly. We need a tiny bit of glue. Like that, tiny bit of glue on here, like that. Because that's a contact point as well. So push this through. There we go. Let's get it pushed in place like that. So we'll create that triangle there, like that. And that triangle there. And that's kind of the shape you're looking for there. See? Got the curve there. I think this has got to follow that curve. So I'm going to twist it slightly so it follows the curve. So I think it has to be flush with the curve, like that. And this one as well has to be flush with the curve, like that. There. That's that there. I'd want to put these in further, but I don't really want to mess with it. They don't seem to go in any further than that. So I'm just going to make sure this is flush. Getting dry glue from my fingers on it. So I'm just going to make sure this is flush before I lay it down to dry. So that's there. That's flush. Checking that, I need to pull up a little bit. There, that's it. That's so that's the front there. That's the side. That's the side, and then the back is like that. So that's. I don't know how it sticks on the thing, onto the side, but I'm going to let that dry, and then what we've got to do is. Then we're just going to paint these sections here, you know here and here. They're painting, seeing where they're painting. They're painting, paint on the other side. I don't know why they're painting it, because it's all white. I'm just going to paint, we're going to see them. If that's up on the wall, like that. You are going to see it from the underside there. So I'm going to paint them that and that, just make sure they're clean, but I'm going to leave it to dry now because it's all flush and the way it's supposed to be, so I'm going to let that dry. Talking too much. Right, time to put the tiles on, which are here, the numbered just as before, except the top row. So I'm just going to separate them out. Into the order that they go, so that's one. So a nice little touch for the porch roof. I think the red and the white looks really good, and then you've got the actual cladding on the outside of the house is blue, so I think it kind of all goes together. There's 3, and then the last one that's not numbered. Yeah, the level of detail that they go to is off the scale. So we need wood glue, we need cocktail sticks, so that we can start so it's this way around. See, that's the curved side that touches the house. So this first one goes here, like that, covers up. It covers up these two things here completely. So I'm just gonna put glue on it, spread it all around. Might not be enough, but this is where we'll start. Maybe it is enough. So we just spread it all around. That. Sit it on there like that. It's upside down. Okay, sit it there. You can tell which way around it's supposed to be because of the 1 that's on it. So make sure you've got it placed where it's supposed to be, which is there. Like that. That's the first one on. I'm going to leave it to dry a little bit because when I put the next one on, I don't want this one sliding back. So I'm going to leave that to dry for a little bit. Okay, let's get the next one on, which is number 2. I have to give the glue a little bit of shake every time. Stop it from separating. I think that is enough. So I don't want to go too near the edges because it seeps out. And I don't want that. There we go. I need to wipe my hands because I'm getting glue everywhere. So goes here like that. Still squishes out the sides. Of course it does. Wonder if I can clip it. Stop it from doing that at the back. Ah, that's better. And clip it at the front, see where the tiles are turning upwards. Two tiles at a time. Yeah, that's perfect. Just let that dry. The clips did the job. There, look, completely flat, and all the paint's gone as well. Amazing. So I'll do that again. So this is number 3. Number 3 goes on that last line there. Clip the front now. That keeps popping up. It's not what I want. There we go. There. Let that dry. I think I've left enough time for this to dry now, so I'm going to take the clips off. Oh, they have left a mark though, look, can you see? It's fine. I'm not bothered about that. So just get this last piece on. And as you can see, it's curved to match that curve. So that will go up there. Like that. and finish that off. Yeah, cocktail sticks are perfect for this. You've got full control of where the glue goes, how much of it you keep on, how much of it you take off. Multi-directional. Let's go take some of it off. Right, there and there. Make sure it's in the right place and it's flush. I can't clip it there or there. The clip won't reach. And while that's drying, I'm going to get a bit of paint. I'm just going to paint these two parts that may or may not be seen. And because it's only a tiny bit, I'm going to take the paint directly from here. Just going to squeeze a little bit out. I'll just paint the whole thing. Just let both of them dry. It's dried, it's finished. So there's the porch. There's the porch. Roof completed. And we have the staircase that's dried as well. That's it. That's the two things that we had to build. And that's what we're left with there. So that completes issue 83 of the build. I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.